thing in common. The killers or victims were D&D players.
Mary Towie was killed by two friends, Ron Adcox and Darren Molitor. The crucial point is, can a game create psychosis, or is someone like Darren Molitor an accident waiting to happen, with or without the game?
If you found 12 kids in murder-suicide with one connecting factor in each of them, wouldn't you question it? And that's all people would do.
I would certainly do it in a scientific manner, and this is as unscientific as you can get. It's nothing but a witch hunt.
But many grieving parents believed there was a connection. Pat Pulling's teenage son committed suicide, and she spoke publicly, claiming that his game playing contributed to his death.
These children not only begin to have violent dreams or violent thoughts or negative, depressing type things, they become very much a part of this character.
Young people commit suicide for a whole variety of reasons. In my research, I saw nothing that led anyone towards depression or suicide.
Northwestern University professor of sociology, Gary Allen Fine, wrote a book called Shared Fantasy and studied the D&D subculture.
They were the kind of kids and young people who didn't go to dances or date on the weekends. It was part of a nerd culture, I guess you would say.
I can still throw death spells, huh, Steve?
The D&D culture intrigued filmmakers and fiction writers. Rona Jaffe's book, Mazes and Monsters, was loosely based on what people thought had happened to Dallas Egbert. It was made into a movie starring a young Tom Hanks.
Let the journey begin. Well, which way do we go?
They went down the storm tunnels and got to play D&D in the tunnels. We had to sit around a table. Like how awesome would it have been if it turned out that D&D was like what they did?
Cory Doctorow is a writer and activist who early on was profiled as an avid D&D player in this story from 1985.
The moral panic was mostly laughable. The idea that there were people who were fundamentalist Christians for whom Dungeons & Dragons represented some kind of existential threat to my soul was silly. You could go around and have really satisfying arguments with profoundly ignorant grown-ups.
Over time, the Dungeons & Dragons controversy lost steam. And today, the common thread between D&D players is less likely to include any reported links to violence, and more likely to involve Emmy Awards and literary prizes. Stephen Colbert and writers Ta-Nehisi Coates and Junot Diaz are among the millions of smart, bookish kids who played D&D and shrugged off any sense of panic.
People were bananas. My mom moral panicked. She was way more worried about us getting shanked, or getting caught up in some nonsense.
It was a lot of fun. It also provided them a variety of other skills, leadership skills, negotiation skills.
We helped each other without even knowing it, man. I learned an enormous amount about what it meant to be courageous and what it meant to be passionate and the kind of hard moral choices that one needs to make in real life in this kind of fake, sort of imagined plane of action.
And for Diaz, as a young immigrant from the Dominican Republic, the game had special meaning.
This was a revolution. Being a bunch of kids of color in a society that tells us that we are nothing, being permitted under our own power to be heroic, to have agency, to do the hero stuff, to take and be on adventures. There was nothing like it for us. It was very, 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 very impactful.
While some parents used to worry about what kids were playing, now they're more likely to be worried about how they're playing.
Cell phones and social media have revolutionized the way we live, but how has plugging in changed the way your kids are growing up?
Through the 20th century, you have this tension between free play and controlled media. I mean, that we were concerned about what sitting in darkened movie theaters would do to our children. Just wait 30 years, and they will be worried about what their children are doing. And it will no doubt be something different than sexting and bullying as we know it today. This is not a new phenomenon. It just changes with each new technology.
The American Academy of Pediatrics says that in this media-saturated age, it's important for kids to use their imaginations in free play. And in a twist, the role-playing games that set off a moral panic in the past may look more like a solution than a problem to today's parents.
It's a great thing to dream yourself in other places, and it helps understand who you are. It's just nice to spend a lot of time thinking, imagining, in a group, collaborating.
Mommy is awesome.
Imagination is a good thing, man. Very powerful.
From the 405. Great show tonight, guys. Thank you very much for telling us all about Dungeons and Dragons. Well, thank you, 405. I very much appreciate it. And from the 580, we have great to hear you guys. I look forward to seeing you later this week. Must be somebody we know. We don't have all everybody's names and numbers programmed into our text line, so I am sorry if I am not calling you by name. Well, Annie, we are now 2 shows in, and we're getting tons of emails, we're getting tons of texts, but we're just not getting that caller. I don't know what we're going to do.
I think it takes time. I mean, people are, they're shy.
And that's really what this show is for. Or for those really smart, ultra-cerebral, capable human beings who just might feel a little bit socially excluded. Things like Dungeons and Dragons, things like Star Trek, things like World of Warcraft offer a level of escapism. And next week, our episode is going to be on...
Ooh, so I'm guessing World of Warcraft Shadowlands? Is that the new expansion?
That's the new expansion, set to come out very soon. And yes, we're going to be talking about World of Warcraft and what type of shape it is in, but we're also going to be taking a look at the new sensation of the retrified World of Warcraft Classic. Yes.
Ooh, okay.
Well, as we're heading out, guys, we do thank you for listening, and we're going to always put you down the road and leave us with a good, soft feeling in your heart.
Okay, so you know how people get this image in their head. I have to say this before we go. I really just do.
Yeah.
It's kind of for the ladies, but you know how you get this image of your head of people that play Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes.
Okay, this game is for everybody. Okay, I know I talk about celebrities a lot, but that's because I want you to have an image. This is a podcast. I want you to have an actual image. So, Joe Magniello from True Blood, the Wolfman in True Blood.
Oh.
And, I know. And Magic, Magic Mike. How can I forget that title? Anyway, Magic Mike, he actually plays D&D. He has a show called Celebrity D&D with Joe Magniello on Nerdist. And he goes around to different functions playing his character, Randy the Savage. Perfect name for him.
Yeah.
Yes. And he played D&D with a group of children from a children's hospital in Pennsylvania. Okay, so ladies, just when you think you can't fantasize about a man anymore, he is now the stepfather of your children. Okay, image over. Thank you. I had to say that just to put that image out there.
Yeah, I think that everybody has kind of has a misnomer around Dungeons and Dragons. It's only for the dorks. It's only for the nerds. It's only for the geeks. It's only for this. It's only for that. No, it really is for everybody because it offers a fantasy world, which no matter what you want to do your fantasy world in, you could even make it about some sort of Christian tale. You could relive a time inside of Israel if you had the right dungeon master with the right story behind it, just using the same models that Dungeons and Dragons has to offer, and make it a Christian-only experience. That's the beauty of Dungeons and Dragons, is that it's not limited to anything but what you can actually imagine. And that's why these stars have latched onto it. Their childhoods are filled with imaginations and capabilities of role-playing particular parts and stuff. Why wouldn't they get into something like acting?
And I mean, if you've ever read the Bible, there are some pretty graphic stories.
Oh, yes.
I mean, so if you are going to tailor your D&D experience, after a Christian story or whatever, I'm not being preachy. I'm just saying the Bible is it's an interesting place to start.
It really can be. I mean, there's a lot of fodder for those sword-wielding days.
Okay,
and
I can see that.
Understanding some of the things that are built into a culture that has not yet become modernized.
I mean, the Syrians literally peeled skin off the people they caught. I mean, that's a good story.
And horribly graphic.
It gives you that imagery that you need for this game, that imagination.
Yes. Well, it looks like we've kind of run our course. We are at an hour now, so we are going to bid you a farewell. Please go ahead and send that email off to us at nashc@alphanerds.online. On the way out, listen to this wonderful, pleasant song by The Walking Feet. It is royalty-free music. It's called The Walking Feet. The Waiting, featuring Cara D. Even if the sky is falling down, and I will shut up.
Life is a winding road, no telling where it goes. Driving through days and nights, won't stop for traffic lights. And I really wanna know if I will ever figure out where the road goes. Even if I'm falling down, I will keep on searching for my highs. You can say I lost my mind, I will keep on holding my head high, even if the sky is falling down. Jumping from cliffs so high, trusting our wings to fly. Sometimes we're crashing down, but we get up and start from the ground. And I really wanna know if I will ever figure out where the road goes. Even if I'm falling down, I will keep on searching for my highs. You can say I lost my mind, I will keep on holding my head high, even if the sky is falling down. Even if the sky is falling down, yeah. The sky is falling down. Even if the sky is falling down.